Yes, today we are going to do carpentry and woodworking. So we will go in the carpentry workshop with the basic tools. There are a number of tools in the carpentry shop which in the carpentry workshop people are using. But here for the beginners, for the demonstration, we are going to go for the basic tool of the carpentry, correct? So here, first of all, we are going to make here cross halving joint. So cross halving joint is a type of joint, means that grooves in the workpiece, two grooves you have to make. Okay, this is a workpiece here. Start. This is a solid workpiece. Okay, so this is a raw material for making the woodworking, means making the joint. So here it is a cross halving. So what we are doing here, we are making two grooves. Okay, one groove in one part of the workpiece and another groove in another part of the workpiece. Both has to be joined tightly and firmly. Correct? It has to be joined like this. So that is known as cross halving joint. So this thing we are going to make. First of all, what we'll do, we will go for that introduction about the tools. So basic tools which you are going to use in the carpentry shop and woodworking. So here all the hand tools you are using, the machines, suppose that shaper, lathe and milling and drilling, that all are machine tools. But in carpentry you have to do with the by using the hand tools. So first of all, this is a steel tool. All of you must know that what is the purpose of the steel tool. It is a measuring tool. Okay, it is made up of steel, and then specification it is given, it is 1 to 30 centimeter. Okay, so here it is a measuring tool, and then next we are going to use a marking gauge. This is a marking gauge here. So it's having a pin. Okay, so you can feed the dimension in the marking gauge by like this. Suppose I want 30 millimeter, so I will feed it like this. Okay, and here we have a knob for tightening. Okay, this pin, the steel pin has to be coincide with 3 centimeter, 30 millimeter, then has to be tightened this one. Okay, once it is tightened, that it means this distance is 30. Now what you have to do, you have to make indentation with parallel to the edge of the workpiece. Now suppose I want to do indentation here with the from this edge to here it's 30. So what I will do, so I have to mark like this, means this stopper we have to take support and then a straight line like this. So with the reference of edge, or we have to make indentation parallel to the edge, on that time we are using this marking gauge. Okay, so marking gauge is over, and next is tri-square. This is our tri-square. In the tri-square, so it's used to check the plane surface, the flatness of the workpiece. Suppose here we have a workpiece, so we have to check whether it is flat or not. So what you have to do, you have to hold it that tri-square like this, and you have to check that whether your workpiece is flat or not. Right now it is not flat, it is just a slant. Okay, see, it is touching at the edge of the, means from the edge you have to make it down. So how to make it down, that I will tell you later on. Now tri-square is over. The use of tri-square is to check the flatness, surface flatness on the workpiece. Next thing is carpentry vise. Okay, this is a carpentry vise here. So it is a holding device. Okay, you have to hold the workpiece in a carpentry vise. One is a moving jaw. These are the jaws. One is fixed jaw and another one is a moving jaw. In between the jaws you have to fix the workpiece. Okay. Next is iron jack plane. So iron jack plane is what? Here it is a iron jack plane. So iron jack plane is the use of iron jack plane is used for quick removal of material from rough workpiece. So here, see here, this is one is a rough surface. Okay, and here it is a smooth, here it is a smooth. I want to smooth like this rough surface. So what we are going to do, we are using iron jack plane. Here we have a handle, here we have a knob, and at the bottom it having a blade. Okay, you can adjust the blade by the adjuster, and here we have knob for tightening the blade. Okay, so iron jack pin is making that for planing the workpiece. So next tool we are using, that is most common tool, this one is a saw. Okay, so saw, this one is a hand saw, but in engineering there are a number of types of types of saw is a crosscut saw, rib saw, tenon saw, and compass saw. But here we are using only tenon saw. Okay, so saw as defined as means a specification of the saw. You have to identify through the length of the saw and the teeth, number of teeth, the angle of the teeth. Suppose I want to use that cross-cut saw. So cross-cut saw is used for cut the workpiece across the grains, and rib saw is used for cut the workpiece along the grains, and tenon saw is used for in both cases, means you can cut as well as in along the grains and across the grains. Okay, and compass saw is for where the curve is required, arc is required. On that time you have to use compass saw. But for the beginners, for the first year workshop, we are using only one type of saw, that is a tenon saw, for means both the purpose we are using. Okay. Now next is chisel. Okay, chisel is used to remove the material from the workpiece. Okay, there are two types of chisel. One is a firmer chisel. This is a firmer chisel. It having a slant edge here. It is made up of forged steel. Okay, and here it is a mortised chisel. Okay, so firmer means what? That is strong chisel. You can use this chisel by striking with your hand, and you can use striking with the mallet also. So mallet, I will tell you what is a mallet. And same is mortise is used for cut the mortise hole. Okay, so whenever we are making the tenon and mortise joint, on that time you have to use this mortise chisel. Okay, it is used to chip inside the hole. Suppose circular part is there, you have to remove the material, or some rectangular part is there that you have to remove the material. So on that time you are going to use mortise chisel, closed rectangular part. Here in this workpiece, what we have open. Okay, the workpiece, it is open. Okay, in this both we have, see, open type. If it is covered here, then on that time we are using mortise chisel. Okay. So this is all about the chisel and mallet. These are the mallet. One is a round type mallet and another one is a square type mallet. Okay. So mallet is used to drive the chisel. Okay. It's used to drive the chisel. Suppose I want to remove the material from the workpiece. So I will put wherever I want, and then I will hit it here. Sure. Okay. So I will hit it here, and then a steel hammer we shouldn't use because it's required, means it may damage the workpiece. Okay. Now next is wood rasp file. This is a rasp file. Okay, this is a wood rasp file. Wood rasp file is used for finishing the finishing the grooves. Now once we will remove here that unwanted material from the workpiece, so it will be irregular shape. It will be hump is there, and somewhere it will be irregular. Now you have to give a smoothing surface and you have to finish it, that one. So on that time you are using that wood rasp file. This is only for only for wood. It's given in the manual. Here we have a solid workpiece like this. It will be finally, it has to be split in two parts. Okay. So according to this drawing, we have to go for the marking. First of all, suppose I am using this type of workpiece. This is a workpiece. Okay. Now here, see here, it is this one. it is a rough surface, here it is a smooth, here it is a smooth. Just we have to make this one is a smooth. So how to make this one is a smooth? And we have to remove just 0.5 millimeter material from the surface of this workpiece. So what I will do, I have to hold the workpiece in between the jaws of the carpentry vise, and then we have to tighten it. Okay. Now, for making smoothness, we have to go for planing. So planing we will do with the help of iron jack plane. So how to do? So iron jack plane. So you have to hold the handle like this and hold the you have to grab this knob and then apply it. Okay. So like this you have to apply it. So it will become. Now, after doing this, you have to keep on checking whether your workpiece is coming 90 degree or not with the help of tri-square. Now, take any one of the workpiece edge as a reference, and you have to lift it upward direction and check. So wherever it is touching, okay, from with the blade of the tri-square on that side, you have to make it down. Now see, it's touching here. So that means it is little bit hump here. So what I will do, I will hold it again and I will do it planing again. Little bit planing. Don't go more planing, otherwise the workpiece dimension it will be disturbed. Now it's okay. Okay. So first step is a planing which we have did. Now next we have to go for marking. Here the total workpiece length is given 200, okay, and the width of the workpiece it is 40, okay, as per the diagram is 40 and here length is 200, okay. Now in the diagram it is also given 40 here, okay, and here width also is given 40. So 100 is one part and 100 is another part. So according to this we have to go for the marking. Now we are going to make this groove. These are the grooves. The groove dimension it is given 40 millimeter, 30 from that side. So what I will do, I will first of all I will take a pencil. I will take pencil and then first of all half of the workpiece I will mark the center point of the workpiece. Why? At the last you have to cut the workpiece from the center of the workpiece. It's from the center of this workpiece. Okay, now I made it here. Half of 200 is 100, and from here you have to mark as a 30. Okay, now from here take 30 and just make a dot here for your reference. From 30 you have to mark here 40, 4 centimeter or 40, but 40 millimeter, all the dimension it is in millimeter, 40. Same way from this side also 30, it is here 30, and then from this side, from this point 40. Okay, now this line, these points you have to project it till the end of the workpiece. How to project it? Hold the workpiece in a carpentry vise and take a tri-square and then hold it like this. So this tri-square edge and workpiece edge has to be matched properly. It should not be like this. Okay, then touch the point and you have to make line. One, here it is a 2, and this one is 3, this is 4, and this one is a 5. Okay, now this marking you have did. Now this is a surface marking you have did. Now one more marking you have to do, that is here, which is 20 millimeter from the edge, from the surface, 20 millimeter, because the groove which we are going to cut has to be, depth of cut it has to be 20 millimeter. Okay, so that value, that marking we have to do at the side of the workpiece. So we have to turn like this, okay, and then right. Yeah. So now side marking 20 millimeter. So from this point, so mark 20 millimeter. Okay, and here also you can mark it 20 millimeter. Okay. Now take a tri-square and this edge and this blade has to be joined perfectly, and make a line parallel to this, which parallel to this edge. So make sure that it should not be slant. Okay, now same way in other side. From this side. Yeah, so in both the sides, you had made the horizontal line at the distance of 20. Okay, this dimension as per the drawing. Now see here, this line you have to project till this horizontal line. This has to be projected till here by using tri-square. Okay, so what I will do, I will hold it, this workpiece, in a carpentry wise, and I will take tri-square and then make a line till this horizontal line. Here also. Same thing here. Only where you are going to remove that grooves, and same here. Okay. Now same thing you have to go for this side. Now you have finished the marking. Okay. So you have finished the marking. So marking you did. Okay. Now first operation you did planing. Second you did marking. Now third we have to go for cutting. We have to cut this material from here to here by using the hand saw till this point. Okay, till the point. Okay. Then we have to go for chiseling. So how to cut it? So first of all, you are going to cut this edge, this one and this one. But finally, when you are going for assembly, you have to cut entire workpiece from here, from the center of the workpiece. Okay. Now what I will do, I will hold the workpiece in a. So now hold the workpiece in a carpentry wise. So you have to hold in such a way that horizontal line has to be visible. Okay, in both the sides, this side as well as this side. Now what you have to do, you have to take this out and you have to just make a slot just inside the marking, inside these two lines, 1 mm this side. Okay, then we will go for, finally we have to go for filing. Now what I will do, I will just make a cut mark. Okay, just slowly cut mark. Okay, now see the cut mark has came. Hereafter what you have to do, see, you have to hold the workpiece in both the hands like this. Okay, and you have to use saw like this. No need to apply downward force. You have to hold this saw in loose way and just to and fro. Keep on doing. So make sure it should not be like this. It should not be like this. It should not be like this. So straight. Keep on going. Okay. So till the end point. So make sure the cut which we are cutting has to become straight till this line. Okay? Now this is over. This one cut is over. You have to check in both the sides here as well as this side, it has reached till this point or not. Okay, so behind it is not reached, just we have to put it like this. Okay, so same way you have to cut this line, and same way you have to cut this line, and same way you have to cut this line. So the cutting is also over. So it cut will be like this. Okay, this has to be reached till the point. Okay. Now hereafter what you have to do? You have to go for chiseling by using the firmer chisel and mortise chisel. Okay. Now you can hold the workpiece for chiseling like this. Okay, in this way, and you can hold the workpiece in this way. Both the cases you can hold it. So for me, I am feeling convenient in this way. Correct. Now hold the workpiece like this. Now I want to remove this one. Okay, this groove I am going to remove. So what I will do, I will take firmer chisel. Most of the cases people are using this mortise chisel also. Okay, but for me, for us, means in the workshop, I am feeling convenient with this. Okay, firmer chisel. Okay. Now what I will do, that slant edge of the firmer chisel has to be behind of this workpiece, means it will be in back side, and then make sure that from this edge have to take little distance. Okay, first of all you have to hold it in slant position like this, and then make it straight, and then hit it, then you have to tilt it. Okay, then keep on doing that. So till the marking you put. Now this side is over. Next, what you have to do? You have to turn the workpiece. Turn the workpiece, and you can hold it like this, and tight the workpiece, and then go for chiseling. So here also clear the mark. Now see here that here chiseling is over here. Hereafter you have to remove this material with the help of chiseling and filing. At last I will show how to remove it. Same way you have to remove this material also in between the cuts. Okay? Yeah, start. So now see, both we have removed. Now see here it is irregular here. So for this you can go for, with the help of chiseling, like this you can hold,
Okay, and hold the chisel like this, and you can remove with your hand also. This material. So wherever hump is there you have to remove. Okay, now you have to take file and you have to do filing here. Okay, so to make in the smooth. Same way in other side also. So see here, so filing inside we have did. Now you have to file this edge also, because till the marking you have to do the filing. How to do? So you have to hold the workpiece like this. Hold the workpiece like this. Take a small file. This is a 12-inch. Here it is a 6-inch file, and then do the file till the marking. So now that filing we did, that grooves is also ready. Now finally we have to cut it and we have to go for assembly. For cutting, what we are doing, we will hold the workpiece like this. Half of the workpiece has to be out from the vise, and take a saw. And this is the center, center mark. From the center, you have to entire workpiece you have to cut. So both workpieces cut. Now here you have to check assembling. First of all, check this one. So this is going correct. Okay. Now next also you have to check like this. If it is stucking, then you have to go for filing. See, it is not filed till the marking. We have to go for filing. Right. So do filing here, little bit till the marking. Right. So now, in both filing is over. Now you have to check it whether it is going or not. So hold it from here, and it has to be go tightly. Okay. Okay. So this has to be like this. Now if you want to remove, so you can remove it like this. Just a little bit hammer it from here, hammer it from here. Then it will be in two pieces. Okay. Now again I have to go for assembly. Just a little bit hammer. So make sure it should not be loosened. Okay. It is fixed now? Yeah, it is fixed. So like this, you have to make for cross-halving joint. Okay. So there are number of joints. Mortise and tenon joint is there. Cross-halving joint is there, and dowel joint is there. Biscuit joint is there. So types of joint, I will add the video in end of this experiment. Just have a look. So you will get idea about how many types of joint we are using in carpentry. So now this experiment, the making of cross halving joint is over. Now for the observation, I will tell later on. So raw material dimension. So raw material dimension was 40 into 200 millimeter. And wood is, there are a lot of wood. Shisham is there, cal is there. We are using white wood. Okay, white wood. Now, serial number first operation, what you did planing. So what was the dimension? So dimension was 40 into 200 millimeter. All dimension it is in millimeter. Now next, what you did? Marking you did. So marking how much? How you did? So that is also 40 into 20 millimeter. Why 20 at the edge? Side marking. Marking is over. Now third operation, what you did? Cutting and chiseling. Cutting and chiseling. So that is also 40 by 40 into 20 millimeter. That is the actual dimension. Now here, fourth is assembling. Okay. So assembling is to make cross halving joint. Cross halving joint. Okay. There are number of joint as I told earlier. So I will attach the video with that. So you go through this, just have a look on the video. And in the here measure dimension. After planing, how much dimension you are getting here with the steel rule, you have to write it. And here, how much dimension you are getting with the help of a steel rule, you have to write it. Whatever the dimension is coming, you write it here and date also. Thank you.